think on the recruiting front, really invest time. Like treat this as one of your key activities during your time at MBA. Really, allocate time to it because it is a time-consuming process, and you need to kind of spend time, allocate time to think about it and think about your strategy.
Thanks, Tim. Matt?
Yeah, I think that's super great advice. I would say like this is your most important thing that you're going to do during your second year, first year if you're recruiting for internships, but it really is kind of a full-time job. I would say the only other piece of advice is, particularly if you're doing middle market recruiting, just be patient. Like you have to be persistent, follow up, but I didn't get my offer until March, and that's just like months of building relationships. And then when the firm finally raises a fund, or they're gonna raise a fund and they're ready to pull the trigger on a hire, like you want to be in that conversation. So it's a long game, and it starts really early, but you have to be patient. And ultimately, like in the spring when firms are ready to go, like you've positioned yourself well.
Great point. It's totally great. Sometimes it's a matter of attrition, but also make sure, guys, on Matt's point, great points on both, on the timing as well as sort of the intensity of it. But make sure you're comfortable with the risk that you're taking on and waiting till March or April, right, to land a job. Because the last thing you want to do is it's totally fine. It's your own, like your career, what you want to do, how all in you want to be. But the reason why we ask you to network early is you get a market sense on, hey, you actually have a shot. If people keep telling you, hey, you don't have a shot, do banking or consulting first, guess what? You can pivot and do that early and then kind of come back to it if kind of time, as time permits.
I think my only sort of advice is going to be, this is not rocket science, right? Like they're not looking for like really smart scientist people. They're just looking for, you will get it. It's just going to be very, sinusoidal wave to your end career path. You just have to be a little bit dedicated and focused about networking and reaching out to people. And I think the last point I would say is that I think Kaushik mentioned this earlier as well. Like this is when you reach out, research the firm, but also research the person that you're going to be talking to, because at that point he's going to either be a champion for you or not a champion for you. So you got to know what that person is like, what deals he has worked on, and like just try to make a personal connection over there. At the first go, you're really making a personal connection with that person and not with the firm.
Great point, Harshit. Thank you. Diego?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to echo the patience that Matthew mentioned. So I also got my offer very late. So it's like a matter of just waiting, be patient. And just to add on something new, maybe be structured. Also have a log so that you can do the timely follow-ups. And also be structured on the emails, and keep in mind that they should be simple and short and to the point.
Right. 30-second rule. Got it. Thank you, Diego. Sharon, from you.
Yeah, so I think it's very important to know where your disadvantages is, because given it's competitive field, you want to make sure if you could overcome your disadvantage and make yourself a better candidate, do that. So for me, I have a triple handicap. So I have no finance background. I'm not the target school for mega funds, and I'm international. I'm from Singapore originally. So it's difficult in a sense to overcome all this. So yes, I do all the, exercises, financial modeling, attended all the finance classes and networking like crazy, using Elevate as one of the platforms. So it's all the things that you could do, just do it and just be patient. Things will come in your way if you know how to overcome your disadvantage and know how to position yourself. Is very important too.
Great point. Last but not least, Felix.
Yeah, sure. Couple things. Number one, I'll say own your story, and especially for people without the prior PE experience and background, it's tempting to try to craft your story around the typical traditional lines, but I think if you own your story and know what you're bringing to the table, it's important. And then number two, I'd say don't give up. It can be a difficult and challenging process, but don't give up. Receive feedback and make the process, improve yourself, but don't lose hope and don't give up.